You are listening to the Soul Curators podcast, where we get into the funk and soul of things. It's all about good conversations about music. So come join us.
Okay, we are recording.
Hey, everybody left.
No, we're still here.
Exactly the way I wanted to start. Welcome, everybody,
you left me here by myself.
to the Soul Curators podcast. We are back for another amazing episode. We are celebrating Women's History Month. Real quick, we're going to get through these introductions real quick. Y'all know who I am. I'm just a janitor here. We got Christina Curates in the building. What's going on, ma'am?
Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are. How y'all doing?
Hey.
All good, all good. Soup's Kitchen, what's good?
Well, what's going on, y'all?
You know what I'm saying? Mr. Alpete in the building. Listen, we have, I'm a little emotional about today because we have an extraordinary guest joining us on this episode of the Soul Curators podcast. This is, I call her the Griot. I call her the Oracle. She is, I would like to say, probably the original curator of soul. Someone who has inspired all of us for decades and has touched every element of this culture and is so crucial, and we just love her to death. So it is an honor and a pleasure for us to have. We got to make noise. The one and only DJ Frances Jaye of NEOSOUL CAFE is here.
Hi guys. Hi everybody. Hi.
How you doing?
I'm doing good, thank you. Just in my room chilling.
Okay, good.
We bow. We bow to your presence.
Yes.
We bow to.
Thank you guys
everything
so much.
that you've done for
I'm
us.
honored. I mean, honestly, I never get interviewed, so I'm like, I got an interview.
Yeah.
We actually
It's been a-
first
it's been a-
started, which has almost been a year now. In May, we started our podcast. I know we were talking about like people that we wanted to interview, and you have been on our list since last year. So I'm so happy that you.
Thank you, and congratulations on
us.
your year. I don't know why I'm just hearing about it, but okay. And I will help you promote it. Look, I be working.
Yes, you are a working woman. So tell us a little bit about yourself as we get started for those that may not know who you are and what you do.
Well, my name is Frances. DJ Frances Jaye when I'm a DJ. And gosh, let's see. I am a longtime lover of good music. I started as on regular mainstream radio on-air personality. And I used to be on the smooth jazz station, you know, those kind of stations that are 107.5, the Oasis, and I hated it. And
I didn't expect that.
Yeah, that was me. I was on mainstream radio and smooth jazz, and so
no, I didn't expect that. I hated it part.
I did. I hated it. I did. So I quit. And one day I said, you know, I hate this music, because I was going into the program director's office saying, hey, why can't we play like brand new heavies? And they'd be like, no, nobody knows them. And I'd be, you know, discovering music on the side all the time and trying to get them to add it in. Because I'm like, why are you guys playing Luther Vandross and Anita Baker on the jazz station? Like, if you're going to play like vocals, play some cooler music than this. And so they hated me. And then I hated being there because they were always like, you're a troublemaker. But I just decided, if you complain about something, then go make your own solution, right? And so that's what I did. I created my own radio station way back when radio stations were not even made. I met this guy at one of my gigs, and he was just this super geeky brother, and he was building strip club websites. This is true story. And he was like, I make a lot of money doing this, but I want to do something different. I said, man, I really want to have like a music website, and I'd love to have some kind of radio station where music plays on there. He goes, let me think about that and let me work on that. And he came back and we had a solution. The very first NEOSOUL CAFE website was born. It was very cool. It had a little lounge that turned around in a circle. I mean, he was like really ahead of his time. And so we've obviously transitioned many times since that, but that was really how that started. It was super cool. And I started just putting a little music on there. He was showing me how to do it, told me the software to get from a long time ago. And that's really how NEOSOUL Cafe radio started. And then I had a TV show, which a lot of people don't know. And I had it for 5 years. And it was on this really weird network. I wasn't making not one penny. All my life, I had to fight and never got a penny for anything. I had a TV show. I was paying these editors and camera people. I used to have a good job back then. I sold yellow pages for a living. And, you six-figured easily selling yellow pages. I don't think a lot of people realize my background is sales for 20-something years. But that's how I got the money to take care of the music thing, right? And then my little part-time radio job until I quit it because I hated it. But I started paying this guy we came up with an idea for the show, NEOSOUL Cafe, and it was like, hey, let's do a 1-hour video show of all the videos that nobody else liked. And I had a business partner back then, Felisa Creighton. She's from Dallas. She worked for Universal Records. And so she was getting me all of the VHS tapes, of all the videos that they were getting from the artists that they wouldn't play anywhere, So I had a lot of videos what was that lady saying? I want to get to, but lots of music that nobody knew. I had all the videos. And so then we pieced it together and made an hour-long music video show. And so we found this network called Colors. I think it was based in Colorado. And they were playing it. And it went on a few national stations. I don't even know where it went. Honestly, I never got a penny. I just sent them the show every week. Broke as hell, paying the editor $700 a week, paying the video guy. I mean, I was paying a lot of money to do it, but it was cool. And we have some archives, and we have a few up on YouTube if you ever want to go see, but I didn't show my face. I've always been very shy and very low key. I've never really wanted anybody to see who I was. And I just said, well, let's just do that thing like the Warriors where they show the lips in the microphone, And that's how the show came about. I was like, yeah, let's just do that. I mean, I don't need to have myself on there. I've always been very insecure, as just a person all my life, just very quiet and try to hang back. And so I said, we can just do that and I'll just talk and introduce the videos. And I eventually got another host, a guy named Rome. And we just, we did it for a few years and it's kind of died out. But it was cool. I was a little bit ahead of my time. I think if I had just held on, I could have been somebody,
Yes.
And so
tell me this, what year was that? Would you say you started NEOSOUL Cafe, the actual station? Do you have an exact
20 years
year?
ago, 20. No, I don't remember Jack, back in the day,
I love this. This is the best interview I've ever done. I'm geek. I love every second. Oh my God.
I don't remember, but I think around 1999.
Jeez. Okay.
We've been around for a long time.
You know what? Right. And you know what? I don't think you have gotten your due flowers or celebration for that. And I know that's something that you're like, okay, you shouldn't be doing yourself. But some of us, artists, somebody, you need your flowers for that. for even being the person behind the station. But anyway, we look, that's we'll get to all that. we just have a thank you for that introduction because I didn't even know the story that you gave. So I appreciate that. That's
thank
dope.
you. And it's honestly, I really am what you see. I think you've hung out with me. I'm just very normal. I love music. I only do it because I love music. I don't really look to get paid. I don't really look for accolades. This is my therapy. And so I need a lot of stress management. And so a lot of you, I think just recently for the first time in my life, I've ever I put it on, this guy posted this story on Instagram. It was kind of crazy. Like his mom and dad moved out of the house and left him. He was 12. And I read that and I was like, wow, that's crazy. Then I remember, my dad put me out of the house at 12, So I put that, I responded and said, this really sets, hard with me because I was put on a Greyhound bus, sent from California to Atlanta to live with my grandmother. We had just moved from England. I don't know, we're military kids, and my mom is Scottish, my dad is American. And we had been born in Scotland, lived in Greece, and moved to England. And we stayed there till I was 12 years old. And we finally came to the States because my mother's white and my dad's black, and he's from Atlanta. And he's like, we can't come back to Georgia. We can't. Georgia's not going to be accepting of this situation. And I mean, I'm 62. So they were doing that stuff back when people weren't even doing black and white. You know what I'm saying? And so it really hit hard with me. So I finally told my story of how I was sent away because my dad married an 18-year-old. I had an 18-year-old stepmother when I was 8.
Wow.
And my dad was 38 and he married somebody 18 years old. And I was just 8 years old, and my mother had passed away. But I have one other sister, and it was just a crazy story. I mean, it's for another time, but I'm just saying there's things that people don't really realize about me. They think I'm all this certain thing, and I'm like, girl, I've been from the streets, okay? So music is my therapy. And like some people like to drink, I don't drink. Some people like to smoke, I don't smoke. I did back in the day. That's why I can't remember nothing. And so, but the thing is that I just feel like all I'm doing is translating energy and vibes and how it makes me feel. And so I'm just hoping that when I'm playing this music or I'm doing a DJ gig, that somebody will be like, oh, thank God, somebody else wants to feel like me. I will say that I'm really blessed because even though I have a very dysfunctional upbringing in life, I am very happy. I've always been a happy kid. Even when I was little and before I left home, I'd be 8 or 9. I'm the kid that would run in the house and go, hey, can I have 8 popsicles, for the neighborhood, and my dad be like, you can't feed everybody, Francis. You can't take care of everybody. And so that's been my personality pretty much my whole life. Like I will give you the shirt off my back. You know what I'm saying? And so I really don't look for things back. I've learned over the years, if you give, you just give. You don't you don't have expectations of getting things in return. I've just always, because my dad used to drill into our head, don't be an imposition. Don't impose on people, so that's stuck in my head, right?
So let me ask you this.
Go ahead.
You talk about your upbringing. Did you, what were some of your influences growing up for music wise? I mean, did you listen to a lot of music as a young adult?
Yes, that's how I would go to sleep at night with my little tape recorder under my pillow.
Are you kidding me?
Yes.
Listen, okay, real quick. I got to interject real quick. Every single thing that you have just said about yourself mirrors my exact story. Everything I hear it. It sounds like I'm listening to my own story,
right?
Even down to the detail of you sleeping to music.
Yeah.
I still do that. Like, oh my God, I'm sorry. Please continue. I'm so sorry.
But my dad was actually into music. My dad was a music person too. So we had 8 tracks in the car. I heard the Stylistics. I heard, the Temptations and a lot of stuff. But then, so when I moved to, my real music influence is when my dad put me on that bus and sent me to Atlanta to the black side of my family. Like I'd never really been around a lot of black people. And we live in England. My mother's white, my dad's black. So this was my first introduction to black people. Oh, really? And so I go to Atlanta. My uncles, they are big time music people. Like they introduced me to Weather Report, Chicoria, Hubert Laws, and just all Flora Purim, and they had albums, and we would sit in the room, and I was young, 12 and 13, and they would smoke weed, and I would smoke weed too with them, because at that point I was pretty much grown. I don't have any parents, and so, but we would listen to music, talk about books, and they really were a big influence for me as far as music goes. And so I really was like a young person. I mean, my idea of music was Gino Vanelli, you know what I'm saying? Noel Pointer. That's the stuff I listened to when I was young. And so it really set with me, because I was happy, but I was also sad. You know what I'm saying? So music was a thing that kept me from being like, I'm going to kill myself, or I'm crazy. Yeah. So, you know what I mean? So it was like, that's really, this has always been my go-to thing. Like I said, some people do different things for to calm or make themselves feel better, and music has always been mine. And then because I have a sharing nature, I couldn't wait to share it. You know what I'm saying? It's like I was the friend that would make mixtapes and give them to my friends. I was in the Air Force. I joined the Air Force at 17, because if I didn't, I was gonna probably go to jail. I mean, my uncles were two of the biggest drug dealers in Atlanta, and I lived in the house with them. And I mean, big time, And so I was like, okay, let me choose. Do I want to stay here and deal drugs, or do I want to go in the Air Force and stay free? So I decided I better join the Air Force.
This is the best fucking interview I've ever done. This is the best fucking interview I have ever done in my life. And I've interviewed.
I mean, Tanya, you know me, and you know how we are at Cafe Chat. We talk, and we're sincere. I'm not a person that's fake. I'm not very fake. It's very hard for me. My husband just told me today, he said, Frances, do you have to say every single thing you feel? Maybe not.
Honestly say, like, what you've been saying is, like, why you started what you started is exactly why I started Soup's Kitchen. Like, not hearing the music that you truly enjoy on the radio, and you say, instead of complaining about it, like, okay, well, I'm gonna just make my own station. So, that hit me, because I'm thinking, I'm like, I don't know, like, let me be transparent with you. I didn't fully know who you were until I met these guys. Like, until I met Christina and Good Bar, I knew NEOSOUL Cafe, but I didn't know DJ Frances Jaye. I've seen your show on BET, but I didn't know you.
I don't think I really care if people know me. I mean, I think it's cool. But I've always wanted people to say, I love that song you played. I love this song I heard on the radio station,
And that's how I'm feeling, because like I know your work. So I know, like, now I know you, and I've known you for a long time, and it just didn't click, but your work, and it's like I'm following in your footsteps unknowingly. Like the way you talk about like why you started, the NEOSOUL Cafe, and the reason and the feeling that you had behind the music, like how you talk about the way you're feeling and want to get people hooked to the same thing you're feeling is throughout that, even though, because everything that just happened, I can't go through the emotion again, but emotionally I'm like connected with everything you're doing and like your work. Like knowing your work and then listening to you speak is something like, it's amazing, because again, like I'm unknowingly going in your direction. NEOSOUL Cafe got me hip to, like, you got me hip to so much more music that, like, I never thought, I didn't think that part of the music existed. I've always wanted to hear it. I would listen to Tribe, and then I go to Outkast, listen to Liberation, and I was like, okay, I want more of this type of style, and then I get hip to Music Soul Child. I get hip to Erykah Badu, and then I get hip to Dwele, Eric Roberson, and then all of these people was on your site. So now it's like, okay, I can hear more than what just that one little song, and you gave me a whole new world of discovering music. So I owe you a lot.
Like, thank you. I will say this though. sometimes I get tired because I know that I have spent so much money over the years, and I have given so much of my time. I've done shows here in my city. I spent a lot of money, a lot of money over the years. I've taken losses on shows because maybe the artist that I booked didn't promote it, right? You know, you book an artist, you hope that they'll promote, and then you give them their deposit. And one thing about me, I'm going to pay you. I don't make excuses. So if I say, okay, you're going to get paid $5,000, just know you're going to get your $2,500. And when you hit my city, your envelope with the other $2,500 is in your hand. You know what I mean? So there's no wondering, oh my God, am I going to get, no, we're not like that. So the thing is that I feel like I've always given, but I never feel like people give back or respect that enough. You know, it's like, man, I have done a lot for artists and I don't have expectations to get things back. But what I would like to see is if I bring you in for a show, at least put the flyer on your Instagram or your Facebook or say we're going to do it or something. You know what I'm saying? And so for me, it's like, dang, I'm done my part. Why won't you do your part? And then we are standing there looking at 50 people at a show, and I'm not the artist. You're the artist. These people are following you. They're not coming to see me. So why didn't you put it on your Instagram or your Facebook or promote it? And then one time I had an artist that did it the day of. Oh, I live in the South. I live in Dallas. And so Dallas is a very quirky market. I moved here from LA and I call it the Juneteenth mentality. They're 2 years behind. And it's like they don't move fast. They're slow to change. And they're slow to buy tickets for anything. They're not going to pre-buy. Now, you go to put a show in Atlanta, they're going to sell out. They need 2 shows, 3 shows. But you put a show in Dallas, you don't even know if anybody's going to be at the show. Because they might wait till the day of the show to buy a ticket. You know what I'm saying? And so it gets tiring. Same thing with y'all?
Yep, same thing in Cleveland. Same exact thing.
Yeah. I came to Cleveland. Me and DJ...
Johnny O.
Starts with an S. DJ...
Sam Silver.
He might be Columbus. I'm sorry.
Oh.
I came and did a gig in Columbus. Another cool DJ up there. It's in my phone.
Steph Floss is the only other DJ I know.
What's his name?
Steph Floss.
No, there's a guy.
He's the Cavaliers DJ. I don't know anybody else.
It's a really cool name with an S. Deluxe.
Deluxe?
Sid Deluxe.
In Columbus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I came and did a show up there with Columbus. He and I DJ'd together. That was really cool in Ohio. But there was a poetry thing. It was kind of cool, though. It was a good turnout, And it's frustrating. I'm sure you guys are doing the same things. And it's frustrating when, you've invested a lot. So I've gotten a little less enthusiastic over the years. I feel like, man, I spent a lot of money. I do this. And another thing that was frustrating for me is, so I know a lot of people don't realize this, but I buy all my music. So even though I have a radio station, you would think that artists would be just sending me their music.
No.
I'm just saying.
They don't. You're saying they don't, right? That's crazy.
They don't. You would think that they would have a list of stations that play their type of genre and would be like, let me just go ahead and send it to you. Now, back in the day when we had videos, and when record labels were around, I flew to New York one time, did an interview with Omar at BBE, walked into their office, they opened up their cabinet and said, take what you want, Wow. And would go to Universal Records. They would be like, take what you want. So I have a lot of vinyl. And so the thing is that nowadays, when it's even easier digitally to get a song, people don't send me their music. But the thing is that what they don't realize is I don't need you to give it to me. But what I would like to know is when it comes out, can I get it? Because I end up having to go, oh, I didn't even know so-and-so had a song out. So let me go to iTunes and buy it. All right. Which I don't mind. In my iTunes on this computer that I'm sitting talking to you on, I have 89,000 songs in my iTunes that I paid for. Damn. 89. This is just one of my computers. I have another computer that has a whole different set of music in it. So I've always bought music. When I go to shows, I support. I buy the vinyl. I'll buy their shirts. I will buy whatever CDs, whatever. But I feel like it's not reciprocated, the respect, when we're trying to help them,
Yeah.
And I don't give a damn because I'm 62. So I'm going to say what I want to say. But the thing is.
There it is. It is.
The thing is, it is what it is. And I know
Listen.
that a lot of artists have come through my city and have been exposed to people that, that's what we do. We're promoters. But it is frustrating when you can't get them
Soups.
to.
I got to jump in here, Soups. I'm sorry. Okay, listen.
Go ahead.
I have to say, first of all, I am so full in my spirit right now talking to you.
Thank you.
I mean that from the bottom of my heart. I've been telling my team, and they know this, how excited I am for this moment to have a conversation with you and to know that everything that you just said, I'm gonna circle back to it. I got to give you your flowers right now. I can't hold it. You are actually looking at 3 people who you have sired in a way.
Thank you, guys.
Speaking for myself, my radio program, The Remedy in Houston, is a direct result of your influence on my life. Every single thing that I've seen you do, I've tried to emulate and continue. Every single thing you just said is what I do. Everything that I play on my show, I have full control over. I can play whatever I want. I play what I want people to feel when I hear it. And it's a vibe every time. And it's always in line with the path that you laid, the doors that you opened, and the way that you've exposed me to music. And it's like the way that I've benefited from you, I have to reciprocate and give it back too. It's only right. I can't keep it to myself. So I don't gatekeep you. I don't gatekeep your influence. Guys, y'all can attest. I've been talking this up forever.
Yeah,
I've been talking this up forever.
And I've known Tanya. Tanya has helped me too. I wish that I had more time to. What you don't know about me is I own 2 companies besides NEOSOUL CAFE. I'm a 3-company owner, and I just started a new company. I do design and staging. So I stage I stage new homes, and I design for new builders.
Oh, that's dope.
You don't see them online. I don't post my whole life online. I just feel like it's really because I'm just a hustler. I'm a hustler.
Talk about it.
Yeah.
And because I've had to be. If you're on your own since you were 12, you don't know. That's your mentality. The mentality is I got to survive, and I got to make sure that I keep money. I got to make sure I don't become homeless. I got to make sure I take care of my family. I wish I could get rid of that mentality, but I can't. I go to sleep thinking about how to make money. I wake up thinking about how to make money. And it's a fault. It's not even a good thing sometimes because you're always trying to figure out how to make money, and it takes energy. And so I also own a pet transportation company, which Tanya knows that. And I transport very expensive dogs all over the world. So when I'm on the planes, I'm just flying a French bulldog, a Cane Corso, an English bulldog, whomever, from London to wherever. I go all over the world, but I don't post that either. So
Right.
I don't believe that everybody needs to know everything I do,
That's facts.
And so I'm extremely busy, and I've let the radio station, I've made that my third priority because I feel like I'm not getting anything back from it. I keep paying the bills every month because I pay. I pay for the streaming, I pay for the hosting, I pay all that. And now it's just become like, whatever. It just comes out of my, whatever. Here, it's the money each month. I don't even think about it much more.
Right.
I mean, in a perfect world, and you won't believe this, today I just flew in, and sitting next to me was an Amazon lead content creator. And I said, God, did you put this man next to me? Because I really had been thinking about a project I want to do, And so he gave me his number and his card, and I gave him mine, and I'll talk to him and see about that. But I feel like I don't understand why the music that we all love is still underground.
Right.
But what I will tell you is you got to find your tribe. So you got to find your tribe. I got a call and they said, hey, Frances, can you open up for Yusef Days? They thought I wouldn't know who he was. And I was like, hell yeah. And so they said, do you know who he is? I said, yes, he's a drummer. He's like the bomb. Hell yeah. When am I coming? It was at, the Bomb Factory here in Dallas, big music venue. And I opened up for Yusef Days. And I felt like I had found my tribe because I'm looking out on this huge stage and there's a sea of people. It was sold out and it was all races. And when I opened up with Black Anime by Masego, and then, you know what I'm saying? And then I saw people singing. And I was like,
there you go.
Shoot, they know my music. They knew Tom Misch. They knew Be My Fiasco. And I was like, oh my God, this is my audience right here. The thing about all of us is we've got to figure out how to get to them.
Right.
After 20 years, I still can't quite figure out how to get to them. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I can have my little page on Instagram and all that. And I do have people that come and see me DJ, whatever. I'm talking about, where are they at? Like in a big group, like.
Yeah, like a festival or something.
Right. And then I've DJed a lot of festivals and I've done shows. I currently book artists. I don't tell anybody. I book a lot of artists. Right now, we just booked Ro James. He was here February 17th, but I was on the Capitol Jazz Cruise. And I booked the Hamiltons this is a promoter here. And he wanted me to, because I do know people. I can call people up and get a good rate. But the thing is that what I'm finding is the promoters are even whack. Like they're so scared. They're so scared of trying something. Now I'm telling him, I don't want to see some of these. He gives me a list. He goes, Frances, can you book these artists? I go, I don't like them.
That's fact.
Right.
That is fact.
And I'll be like, why
Oh
can't
my God,
we
you're a
book,
preacher.
Devin Morrison. Why can't I bring so-and-so, Jared Lawson? Why can't, I don't know them. Yeah, but nobody would know them until we bring them.
Yeah, right.
That Everything you said this is our conversation.
We talk about this every week. Everything you're saying.
This is our conversation.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So it's real. I've been dealing with this for over 20-something years.
Yeah.
It hasn't changed.
Quick question. Like, do you feel I understand that you feel underappreciated because it's not really reciprocated. But do you also understand that you like how big you are to some of us? Like, do you?
No. I really don't.
I know it's not a financial thing.
I think
but
that
like
Tanya, who has actually hung out with me, will tell you how real basic I am. I don't really realize. I don't. And I'm always shocked. I was in the airport one time and someone walked up to me and said, are you Frances Jaye? And I go, yeah. They go, oh my God. I'm like, you know me? I go, okay, cool. Well, whatever, I just hug everybody and go on. I really don't really.
The impact is huge.
I really don't. I don't think that I really think about that. You know what I'm saying? I think with my dysfunction, I suppress feeling special. Does that make sense? You know what I'm saying?
Allow me to put a battery in your back real quick. Allow me to put a battery in your back real quick. And Christina and I spoke about this one day. We were talking about some other things. On days, and I know you've had these days, on days when this gets hard, when it's hard for me to go into the radio station, when it's hard for me to work with artists, when it's hard for me to work with other DJs, when it's hard for me to do things to make sure that the work that I decided to put in gets done, and I am not capping because you are here, and Christina can attest to this because I've said it to her. I think about what would Frances Jaye do, because I've having been someone who's followed you for decades. When I was in college up until today,
yeah,
I've watched you walk through doors and do things, and I can understand that you were figuring it out as you were going, and you made it look so classy and so smooth. And I know that some of the goals that you had for it may not have manifested in the ways that you wanted it to, but for us who follow you, and for myself specifically, those are things that empower me to keep going. So, and then to add context to the context you provided us today. Listen, I have a bunch of questions for you, but you've been giving so much. I'm just so full. It's just like, it's like you've given, I just want you to understand, if you never hear this from anybody else in the world, how powerful you have been for us, and why to even have motivated us to go forward and do things that we're doing. I'm not supposed to be doing radio. I have never studied radio ever in my life.
Me either.
This was
Me
gifted to me.
Me either.
Right? So, and I look at it, because it was gifted to us in that manner, it's like we are ordained for this work, which is why I do it the way I do it. And it's like to hear the struggles that you have had over the last decade or two, and it mirrors what we're dealing with, that we talk about every day on this show. And it's like, you're still here, and you're still inspiring, and it just is powerful for me. I'm truly touched. Mm-hmm. I am truly touched. And I mean, the battery you put in my back tonight.
Thank you.
I got to record this show tomorrow for Saturday, and I was too tired. I had a long work week, and there's no way I'm not doing this shit now, because it's like,
well,
right.
Honestly, I'm tired all the time.
Right.
Yeah.
I just
know that in your time where you feel like, okay, why am I doing this? Or like, what have I done? You're doing it for the love of music, but just know that you've brought a lot of people together that you may not realize, even amongst the neo soul people. And you've exposed us to so many of the indie artists that probably would never get any play. So just know that if no one else says it or gives you flowers, we here at the Soul Curators, we're going to give you your flowers, because
thank you.
You've meant a lot to us. So just know that. But let's get some questions. Let's get some good questions. Somebody, you got something?
Give me some questions.
Okay. I want to go back to, I'd like to circle back, and I know we're kind of going out of order, y'all, but I just want to circle back to one thing. Okay, so a quick story. I want to say it was maybe 2003 or something like that. It was New Year's Eve, and I was scrolling, came back from service. My family went to bed. We had our champagne. I'm a night owl, so I stayed up and I was scrolling through the channels, and NEOSOUL CAFE was on. I think for some reason BET Soul had it, and they had a marathon of your show.
No, it was Colors Network.
Colors Network. Okay.
I don't saw it on BET.
Dang,
I don't know
they just
how it
stealing
got.
my stuff.
Yeah, they were stealing it. I literally sat up from like 12:30 until like 6 in the morning because they ran a marathon of your show.
Wow.
And I remember the microphone with the lipstick and not seeing, I only could see your nose. I remember the whole thing. I remember the intro, and that really was where I was born in regards to the soul. Look, I've always loved this music, but that took me somewhere else. So, having said that, you kind of given us some info. You kind of answered the question in a way about how that show came about and how it existed or what have you. But you did make mention that there's some archives. So
lots of them.
Just leave that open. I'm gonna leave that open.
And let me tell you something. The true story. I shouldn't even tell y'all. I'm gonna tell you though. So I had this corporate job one time. I've always had a corporate job for many years, and they gave me an American Express card. Lord. I used that American Express card to buy me, my camera crew. It was him and his wife, me, put us up in the W Hotel, and we set up cameras at the W in San Francisco to interview Lettucey before anybody knew her.
Oh,
Lettucey came to that interview. She said on the bus. We went Martin Luther.
Oh, wow.
We went to Dwayne Wiggins Cafe while we were out in the Bay.
Wow.
We interviewed him. We did a bunch of interviews on my company's credit card, plane tickets, hotel, everything. Just to get content, you know. I flew to, a little known fact, I flew to New York. I rented a studio in Manhattan and interviewed John Stevens, which is John Legend.
John Legend.
And I paid $60 an hour for this piano in this little room. And we interviewed him. There's a lot of stuff people have never seen. I interviewed Omar up in the BBE studios. I've gone a lot of places and gotten some very amazing interviews. And a guy who said he was a television producer, supposed to be creating a show for us, stole all of our content. He stole it, and we could never find him again. His name is Dale.
Uh-oh.
And seriously, I don't give a damn. I'm gonna say it.
And
so,
and that's probably why I was on BET, huh? You think?
I don't know.
It was on BET.
Some of your interviews on YouTube.
I've never known
I didn't
that.
see that.
I don't know
see that.
where they are. We don't know what happened to our stuff. Seriously.
Oh
That's
my
crazy.
God, yo.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Wow.
But he was known for doing kind of that after the fact, people told me. But I didn't know, you know?
Right.
But things like that just happen. I mean, didn't I tell you, Tanya? So I just to show you how crazy life is. One of my dreams was to do the music for a movie. Did I tell you about the movie I did? So there's a movie. It's called Singleholic. You can look it up. It's out there. Black guy. He went to Duke University. He had a lot of people in the movie that you guys would know. Vanessa Williams, not the one that's the other one. Right. It had Tyson Beckford. It had Rotimi. It had a lot of people that you guys would know. And so one of my friends who went to Duke with him, he was looking for a music supervisor, and she said, you should call Frances. You know, she could probably help you with that. So we talked. I flew myself out to LA, met with him in Hollywood at an office in Burbank, watched the movie, thought this is a very well done movie. This is one of my bucket list things. Before I die, I want to do the music for a movie. So I told him, I said, we can use independent artists to do this sound, to do the, like the scenes, different, how to like Raphael Sadiq did for Insecure.
Right.
You heard.
Right.
Absolutely.
I was doing it for this movie. I picked all the songs. Our next meeting, this is on my dime. I flew myself to New York. He said, we're going to meet in New York. We met in Manhattan at an apartment. We sat in there all day watching this movie, going through the scenes. I was giving him, I gave him the artists. Some artists y'all know. This is a perfect song for this. I left, never heard from him again. And then one of the artists whose music I gave him hit me up, said, hey, Francis, thank you for that, getting my song in that movie. And I was like, what? And sure enough, this dude went around me and went straight to the artists and paid them for their songs. Never paid me a penny.
Wow.
Never gave me any credit on there. And, but this is the kind of stuff that happens out here. And if you're not business savvy, which I'm so creative to a flaw, sometimes you can be too creative. You can be too in love with the music and not be prepared with your business. So I called my friend Lamont Rucker and I said, Lamont, I did the music for this movie. He was like, girl, you should have called me. I could have got you my attorney. Don't ever do that again. Don't ever do anything like that again without a contract.
Right.
And,
right.
And I had to put some good songs in there too, But
so speaking of that, do you think that you will do another compilation of an album, or was that too much? Was that too drama out? Like, what would you do that again?
Wow. It was expensive. Cost money. It cost money. And thousands. It cost me a lot of money. And
well, that's good to know if somebody, if you ever thought about doing
one artist on there made me have to pull the whole thing off the.
Okay,
yeah. I'm not going to say that. I would not, but I had to pull that off the internet because one artist. Well, I would never say that.
Okay.
Name. Yeah.
Well, it's back on, and it's on. We found it on. What is it? Tidal.
I found it on Tidal.
Wow. Oh, that must
and
be
it's also
I
on
need to get in touch with the production company.
It's also on SoundCloud as well.
No,
SoundCloud.
SoundCloud.
Tidal
it's on
and
SoundCloud. I saw it.
This is me. This is me not having my business in order. I will tell you newbies, have your business in order. Honestly, you guys just recharged my battery. Because now I see that you guys are ready to fight for it too. And so I used to be like the Lone Ranger. And are anybody else a DJ or just me? I know Al Pete is.
Well, technically, Soups and I are technically DJs. He won't claim to it, but he.
Yeah, so I'm actually really the only one that's not. I just do the mixes. I curate the mixes.
You're just a lover of music, which you always have.
I can't do the whole putting the songs. No, I will not claim the DJ status. So we have 3 right now. Good Bar, Soup, and Al Pete.
2. I'm not a DJ.
So humble.
I don't mix. I don't do any of that. I put a playlist together. That's it. I'm not a DJ. Like, I'm not a DJ.
Let me add to that, Francis. I know you're one of the Soulition DJs. DJ Nimbus has me in boot camp right now.
Oh, good.
And Nimbus and I, Nimbus and I have been doing our event for 17 years here in Houston.
Which one is it?
So, Paid in Full.
Oh yeah.
And he does. You actually came down to do his exposure event.
I've done exposure with him before, and he comes up here and plays with. He comes and plays with me sometimes. Nimbus will wear you out. He will call you, Francis. What you got going on? I'm coming up there. I want to come and play. Yeah.
I just spoke to him yesterday. So I told him we were going to be talking today. So cool. Like we're already the degrees of separation are very short. So I'm always here. Whenever whatever's going on, I'm always available.
Christina, I'm proud of her too, because Christina has always been in the NEOSOUL CAFE group, and she's always been helping. And Dee Dee. Remember Dee Dee passed away? Dee Dee probably got the whole NEOSOUL CAFE group started. I got it started years ago, but I wasn't paying any attention to it. And then Dee Dee came along. She's like, she got it going. Churning. I don't know if you guys know there's 2 NEOSOUL CAFE groups. I'm trying to figure out how to merge them together. It's 100,000 people.
There's
another group that's it's 65,000 people in it. I need to tag you in it.
Are you in it too?
Yeah.
Damn. Where I been? I didn't know that.
I'm trying to figure out how to merge them together.
And they're in it's in Facebook?
So my business. Yeah.
Dang.
I'll have to send you the link. Yeah,
please.
There's two groups, and I've been trying to figure out. Right, and so the thing is that my business partner. So I have a business partner. Her name is Tony. She's out in LA. We own a company called YourLivestreaming.com. I don't know if you guys realize that during COVID we did streaming concerts. Did y'all see any of those?
Yeah,
we did Alex Isley.
We talk about all the time.
Yeah, we flew out to do Alex Isley in LA. We did Duran Bernard. We did Gene Noble. We did Anthony David.
Yep.
I saw
4 or 5. You saw Duran. And we did it the same studio. We did Duran. We did Alex Isley too. We flew out to LA and set up the cameras.
Duran is from Cleveland, so I had to support him. So I definitely watched it.
Duran's daddy is like my daddy. We the same age. But I love Duran's mom and dad. Duran used to sleep on my sofa when I lived downtown in the loft. He used to come in and crash on and be all on live on my sofa. I'd be like, what is this nigga doing at my house? Going live. Wow. It's crazy. So, but I want to tell you guys, because I usually do interview people, but I rarely have anybody interview me, because I really don't ever feel like I really have much to talk about, or most people probably just don't think that, I don't know what they think, but anyway, I just am. Now you guys look, I need to go update the radio station. I'm better go put a whole playlist in there because I'm tired, because I fly. I mean, I literally fly 5-6 days a week on the airplane. So a lot of times when I get in, I'm exhausted.
Right.
I'm a wife. I'm a grandmother.
Look, I have another question for you. You ready? No, I'm just playing.
Yes.
So who are some of the artists that you could describe your music taste perfectly? Like, who would you, if someone were to say, describe your music taste, what artists would you tell them?
New or old?
New. Because we always be on the old stuff.
Right now, I am really digging Be My Fiasco.
We just
She's one of my
interviewed
favorite.
her.
Yeah, we just interviewed her.
We just interviewed her.
Yeah, she's one of my favorites right now. Of course, I love Sego.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. When I'm on the plane, all I do is dig for music. In the last 2 weeks, y'all, I have found so many dope artists. Oh my God. Like, there's so many. Like, there's so much music out here again. And and these are young people. These are not like old people.
Yeah.
I'm older, but I'm really attracted to the younger artists that are coming out right now that are doing really dope stuff.
That's dope.
God. Now, where's my phone? I just downloaded a bunch of music when I was on the plane today, and I was like, "Ooh, Lord, I gotta hurry up and play this one on my set." I like.
So, are you familiar with Ray Khalil?
Yeah,
I know you probably. Okay.
She's on Anderson .Paak's label.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
She's signed to Anderson .Paak's record label.
Yeah, that's my.
I'm digging
song
like.
right there.
See, it's funny because you and I can tell that you and I have some similar tastes, but then we have some different tastes.
Mm-hmm.
When I see you posting music sometimes, I'm like, but that's okay. Your sound should be your sound.
Yes.
And your sound should be your sound, and your sound should be your sound. When people walk into my gigs, they tell me they knew that was me when they walk in.
Yeah.
They always say, I knew this was you. Somebody came, they'll come and find me. I knew this was you because I could tell by the music that was playing. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And that's really what we should all be striving for, our own sound.
That's an amazing compliment when people tell us that. And having been to sets that you've done, when I walk in your room, I know it's you too. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, there was one particular event you DJ here in Houston. It was Dwelle in the Foreign Exchange. And I remember being in the front. I remember being in the front of the stage, and you played a Brandon Williams song that nobody knew, and I was in the middle of the crowd singing it to the top of my lungs, to the point that people were walking up to me like, "What is that she's playing, and why are you so effective?" I'm like, "Y'all don't know nothing about that."
Right, because you already knew the music, and that's so good.
I remember you used to play Neon Greens. Do you remember that group? I don't know what happened.
I love that song.
You introduced me to that group. I love their little EP that they put out. I just remember hearing it on the NEOSOUL CAFE station. Yep.
Let me give y'all a list of small artists that I just found, and then you could go dig on them. Haley Knox. Her name is Haley Knox.
Okay.
I like her. I like La Saint.
Yeah.
And what's so crazy is they hardly have any people following them on Instagram. And I'm like, y'all are jamming. So this is weird. I like NEOSOUL, LEYSOUL. It's an Asian chick.
I heard of that.
She's kind of dope.
LEYS.
She's kind of dope.
NEOSOUL?
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
okay.
And of course, hey, are y'all rocking Kenyon Harold's new album?
Yes. As a matter of fact, a funny story about that. We actually reached out to Kenyon probably just before the Capitol Jazz Cruise, and we were waiting to hear back from him once he got back. We've already talked to him about it. So
I did the cruise with him. I opened up for him.
We're looking to speak with him.
Jameson Ross.
Who?
Oh, I love Jameson. I like
Jameson Ross is freaking amazing.
Man.
You haven't seen anything till you've seen him live. My mind was blown. Me and my husband were like, wow, this is unbelievable. You know, it was unbelievable. Like, so hard to. Oh, don't forget, Lion Babe just put a new album out.
I saw that.
But you know, Lion Babe is
I saw
moving to she's moving to house music.
Yes.
Okay.
And I like
I
house
see
music.
that much.
I think her like last two projects has been ranging into full house.
Yeah, she wants to do house, and I'm liking it. I like her a lot.
I like it too. I do.
I like Lion Babe, but there's so much. You can find a new artist, multiple new every day. It trips me out.
If we were to give you, each of us to give you one artist that we're kind of out of nowhere, kind of really feeling right now, my one would probably be Shea Universe.
Okay, that's
sure
good. I'll go find them too.
Yeah, Shea Universe. She's out of the UK. SSHAE Universe.
She has a strong. You can tell that she has a strong accent, and even when she's singing, kind of like what's the girl's name? Tiana Major. You can tell. You can sometimes you can hear. Okay, she's from.
I love Tiana Major.
Yeah, but I love her. I love her new.
I love new British artists.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, her new album is called Love's Letter.
Mm-hmm. So, Soups, who would you give? What would be your person? Yep.
My one person, it's between Children of Zeus.
Oh.
And
I love Children of the Zeus.
Who else? Brittany Carter, hip hop.
Yes.
So it's between those two. Brittany Carter's nice.
Yes, very much so.
You know who has a new album? Jacob Collier. Jacob Collier's got a new album.
Listen, he has a song with Josh. What's the girl's name? I can't think. White girl that sings really good. They redid Bridge Over Troubled
Josh
Waters.
Stone?
Oh my Lord!
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh no, that's not Josh Stone. That's the girl. She can sing her tail off.
Yes.
A white girl, right?
They redid
the whole album's good. Y'all need to check that album.
Oh my gosh, I was in tears and crying driving. I was like, oh my gosh, it's beautiful. Yeah, it's real good.
Look, I go right in front. I love when somebody tells me something I don't know. I go straight and find it and go listen to it.
I know.
And then what about you? What about you, Tanya?
Me? Oh, let me think. Oh, LaTanya Alberto. She's out of the UK.
Okay.
She has a track with Full Crate, but I really like her.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Cool. So we probably need to converge back. I think we need to do this more. I think we need to figure out how we can share new music with all of our audiences.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
I think that's something that we need to
even if
figure out how to do.
Conversation that we'll have, like, okay, what you listen to this month? Because, like you said, there's so much music, and there's so much music that we experience amongst ourselves, including your station. So I definitely will. I'm down for it.
Yeah, we would definitely love to have you back.
Absolutely. We would love to have you back on the show. We would love to have you back on the show. We would love to have, if we have to set up a group chat and we just, send you things that we may be checking out or what have you, I would love that. That would be awesome.
And she has an iPhone too, so
let's all brainstorm. Let's brainstorm.
Yeah,
absolutely. We can do it offline. We can brainstorm because we have a lot of, by way of you, we have a lot of ideas, and just we're trying to push the same content in terms of the music that is the indie music that people are not listening to on the radio, but it's good music. It's good music.
Oh yeah.
On behalf of the gentlemen involved here, we want to wish you both a happy Women's History Month. Thank you guys for everything that you all do. It is much appreciated.
Because we're almost at the end of the month now.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. And what better way to wrap it up than with you?
Yes.
We truly love you, Frances Jaye. I
Thank
didn't even
you.
get to do. I didn't even get to do the formal interview I need to do because I'm so busy gushing because this is amazing for me. So
Well,
I
how
want to
about
thank you for.
we come back and do that again?
Yes, ma'am.
Absolutely.
Most definitely.
True indeed.
Yeah,
True indeed.
and I would love to.
Okay.
Well, thank
Now I
you
gotta
to
go
your
feed my
family
grandbaby.
thank you to your family for letting us borrow you for a little while, and we appreciate you being on the Soul Curators podcast, and we can't wait to get back with you again.
Okay, I appreciate you guys.
All right, y'all. Thank y'all for listening. Thank y'all for listening to the Soul Curators podcast. We had the one and only DJ Frances Jaye with us on behalf of the MPN Network, the one and only Christina Curates, the one and only Soup's Kitchen. I'm Mr. Goodbar, and we are out. Peace and love.
Good night.
Take care. Take care.
Thank you for tuning in to the Soul Curators podcast, powered by the MPN Network. You can check us out on all streaming platforms where podcasts are available.